Hey everybody, before we get into watching Iron Man, I just want to let you know about our sponsor. It's a movie called Sir John A. and the Curse of the Anti-Quenched. It's a fun comedy. It stars John Dunsworth from Trailer Park Boys, Spenny from Kenny vs. Spenny, and the Diener from Fubar. It's about two brothers who save their city by staying drunk to avoid demons. You can get it on iTunes, Amazon, wherever you get your movies. Check out curseoftheantiquench.com.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
Welcome to the Raiders of the Lost Commentary podcast.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
The unofficial commentary for your favorite
Get to the chopper!
and not so favorite films.
The famous comedian Arnold Braunschweiger.
Starring your hosts Adam and Matt.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Start your movie in 3, 2, 1.
Here we go, Iron Man 1. I should preface this and say that we have already seen Endgame at this point, so there may be some Endgame spoil. There definitely will be Endgame spoilers in here.
We can't avoid it.
Yeah, just talking about the MCU. So if you've not seen Endgame or any of the other MCU,
Get the hell out.
Turn back now. Fair warning. But yeah. So this is it. This is the movie that started it all for the MCU.
From Endgame with its end credits, like I told you, we're going to get right in real quick. With the hammer dinging at the end of the credits comes the beginning of the whole thing.
With Tony Stark hanging out in the mountains of Afghanistan.
What a great beginning. Like, had you heard of Iron Man prior to this film?
Yeah, I mean, I watched like the Avengers cartoons when I was a kid. I never got into the Marvel comics as much. Like I read a few, like I read Neil Gaiman's like 18 something or 17. I don't know. It's like an old number, and it's like it's the Marvel MCU or Marvel universe in like old timey like
Okay.
like knights and
My
whatnot.
God, he looks young.
And like instead, Iron Man, he's like, I think he has like just a normal suit of armor that's advanced. Did you know that Robert Downey Jr. was not on their radar at all to play Iron Man?
I mean, I could see that coming because of the fact that he wasn't on anyone's radar.
And
did he just come back from rehab after, like, from this?
I think so.
He
yeah.
had just done Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah, which
This
he's
was a
obviously
fantastic movie.
He's great in, and then which that director Shane Black ended up doing.
That's right. I never put I never really
Iron Man 3
connected
together,
the.
or Iron
I
Man
wonder
3.
how that came upon. Like, did you think Robert Downey Jr. was like, hey, you should give my buddy Shane Black a chance?
I think they were just looking to shake stuff up with that, but
Still an underrated movie. I enjoy Iron Man 3.
It's funny watching stuff go through the eras too, right? Because this has got a shitty phone. There's a MySpace joke in here. But yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Was not on their radar at all, and actually approached them and said, "Oh, like I think I would be best to play Tony Stark."
I heard Terrence Howard was one of the reasons why he was hired.
Oh,
Apparently
really?
It was one of his friends. Again, there's a lot of speculations on that because I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but maybe some of you are racist, but War Machine, Rhodey, is not the same actor from the first one. Terrence Howard
But Terrence Howard was sort of like bigger billing at the time because
absolutely.
just came off winning an Oscar. Same with like Pepper Potts there, the Goop Lady.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Huge cast in this movie. Like that Downey Jr. was, sure, he was famous in the 80s, and, you know, he kind of, I mean.
I love that he sees his name on it, too.
There's a lot happening in this movie. Like, they even show you, like, cause, like, I remember seeing this, I'm like, well, it's like, maybe he should have wore a vest. You'd think he would have done that. And then he, like, pulls out, you're like, oh, I guess he was wearing a vest.
But it didn't matter.
Because his technology is just really good.
Yeah.
To me, first time I heard of this movie, I didn't know Iron Man. I had never heard of Iron Man. I wasn't really into the, like, I liked Spider-Man, and I liked those movies when they came out, right? Like, and I think I'd seen Blade at the time, but that was about it. And I'm like, Iron Man, okay. But the trailer, you're like, this looks like a really good movie. This looks fun.
It's got a lot of great moments. I didn't see this in the theaters at all. Like it had gone by without me really sort of noticing as much. But yeah, I saw it on video after. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. Like it's got like an amazing moments. You know,
it's very good moments. It's funny rewatching it now after knowing like everything, right? Like you just see you see his dad. That means there's 3 actors that plays
Howard Stark.
Yeah,
I suppose so. Which, I mean, they would have never got the guy that plays Howard Stark now, but
the
they
guy
did.
from Don Draper.
Yeah,
what's his name?
Yeah, I forget his name. And
what's the show?
Mad Men.
Mad Men.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But this is like a good. It's like exposition of like who Tony Stark is for like just your average pedestrian viewer, right?
It's true. It's a great way to do it without having it forced.
Yeah.
Because of the way they display it. I mean, to me, it's surprising that really the grandfather of the MCU, and I'm not talking about Feige,
Kevin Feige.
I mean, I've been saying Feige, and I that's wrong apparently.
I've
good
heard
old
Kevin Feige.
But apart from him, we're talking about Happy. We're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Why am I forgetting his name?
Because I am too. At the same time.
It's not Ron.
It's not Ron. It's definitely not Ron.
It's definitely not Ron, but it's a name like Ron, and I don't know why we're blanking on this right now. Why are we blanking on Adam? Why are we blanking on this right now? Jon Favreau. That's right.
Favreau's
John. I was close.
Favreau's got such like a interesting career that
He does. He's got a lot of low budgets like made and.
Here's a funny thing. Just pulled up this on IMDb, but if you can see this on the screen here,
I can.
Tom Cruise was possible looking at for Iron Man.
That would have been a weird one.
It would have been different. I love Tom Cruise, so I could see it, and also Nick Cage was one of them. Nick Cage would have been good, but it just would have been different.
It would have been a hell of a lot different with Nick Cage.
Yeah,
but I mean, at least it would have helped him financially. He could have bought more dinosaur bones.
It's also like seeing Happy there. It's like, holy God, he is so thin. Look how thin Jon Favreau is.
I know
there.
He's very thin in it. I remember watching the behind the scenes, and he wanted to, because he was playing a bodyguard or like driver, like because he wanted to get in shape for that, and I guess he just forgot for the rest of the movies.
And
at one point, he's like, "Man, I got to do another one."
Because Happy is a retired boxer. That's also.
Is it? I forget about.
Yeah, Happy's a retired boxer.
He's so thin
and young, and handsome.
And then you look at him in like the trailer for the new Spider-Man, which, spoiler, he looks old.
Also, like if you think about just Made, the movie Made with that Jon Favreau's in and directed too, like he plays a boxer in that, which is it's another really great film that he.
I like Swinger. Which one's the one where he's on the phone trying to like calling Swingers? Like I love that.
It's a great scene, eh?
It's such a great scene. It's like one shot. Just him constantly calling her. Oh my God.
It's funny. It's a good scene.
From the director of Elf comes Iron Man.
But yeah, I don't know. I also heard a rumor sort of recently. It was Jeff Bridges that said it in an article that they had no real script for this film, and they had sort of an outline of where they wanted it to go, but they didn't have a lot of dialogue for Robert or Happy or Gwyneth Paltrow. They had and they would run 2 or 3 cameras and get what they wanted, which I believe that coming from
Jeff Bridges.
Oh no, just with Jon Favreau, just with how he's sort of done stuff in the past, and like him being a really strong comedic actor.
Roll.
Yeah, and just let stuff roll, and like you know, I'm assuming like the nuts and bolts were there, because they had some practical suits too, but it took them, like I think Jon Favreau might have funded like one shot to show the suit building on, to show the studio, oh, okay, yeah, this can look really cool. We'll spend more money to get some of the building on shots, which are like the most iconic shots of Iron Man. Like that's like my favorite thing. I watched like a 10-minute video the other day of all the shots of just him putting on the suit.
No, I think my favorite scenes are him not putting on the suit. It's him testing the suit.
I like how they, we can get to that later too, but I love how they did that, and they filmed that using, you know, CGI mixed with practical harnesses and whatnot. So
it's definitely interesting. I remember seeing this movie, getting to the end, and you know the big reveal at the end is Nick Fury shows up, which of course
they went for it right away, eh? Like the first movie, they were like, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna do the Avengers."
Yeah, exactly. No, but from the beginning, and I think that's what's so great. Like, and I would love to go into to know exactly what they were planning from the beginning. Like, were they planning? Like, where were they going? Like, did they know some of the stuff that happens in Endgame?
No, I doubt it.
Or is it just something that just like evolved naturally as the movies came on? I
think they knew they wanted to get to Avengers 1. But
yeah, I feel so too. I think at least I mean that's probably why the phases are there. They know where they want to be at the end of a phase.
I love the soundtrack in this. I also do love that they kept a lot of the same cast minus Terrence Howard. Like Gwyneth Paltrow is still Pepper Potts. I don't really like her as a human, but she's a great actress.
Well, there's a lot of huge stardom in the MCU. Like just looking at Endgame, that funeral scene, and
they did that legit. I found out it wasn't an effect shot.
All one shot.
Yeah,
and they're all there. That is surprising because you got things like all the star power of just the MCU, including like Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, just to name a few, that are showing up in these scenes, and it's incredible.
That was the entire budget right there, like for real.
It's not like they didn't make their budget back. The movie's number 2 right now.
But their chemistry on screen, I think, is awesome. And I remember the first time watching it, I didn't like it. I thought it was so messy, the dialogue. But then I don't know, watching it a second time, I was like, oh no, it's genius, because that's how like their dynamic is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's well, it's always like
chaotic,
business, and then it comes in, and there's a lot of like, are they together? Are they not? Like, what's happening here? Did they ever hook up? Like, no.
It's got a very like James Bond and Moneypenny vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It also shows like good character development too for him. Like, you know, I like the way that the structure of this story is too, right? Like,
yeah, it's definitely a very.
We start with like a bang, and then we get a ton of backstory for Tony Stark and the world they live in, which is kind of neat too, that we sort of see this is the first foray into the MCU, and they've done a good job of honoring all of the little tiny details of all these movies. You know,
that's true. I mean, there's a few little Easter eggs in this movie that kind of throw off things from like you see the shield in this movie apparently in the background at one point.
Oh no, I know in part 2.
Or was it the second one?
He uses the shield to pop up.
Yeah, no, but in this movie, in one of the scenes, it's hidden in the background at one point.
Oh yeah.
Which of course, you know, how the fans can be like, oh my god, it's like a continuity error. It's like, no, they just wanted to like
put it in. Like,
put it in there.
But yeah, Terrence Howard.
It would have been an interesting roadie.
I don't think it would have been bad. He's a phenomenal actor.
But what I'm saying is, like, it would have been. We definitely would have gotten a different roadie.
Oh yeah, it would have been a lot different. But I do. It's interesting though. Like that came out, and they were gonna make the second one, and he wanted more money than Downey.
Or see, that's what I mean. Like, there's different versions of it, right? he wanted more money, or the studio decided like, listen, Downey's the bigger star now because of this. Like, so they're giving more of the money to him and down paying him, Terrence Howard. So somewhere, somehow, someone got screwed and didn't get screwed.
I love that they have a stripper pole. I wish I had Tony Stark's life up until that point. I do love just the subtle stuff in this movie too. Like his jet, it's just different. Like it's his jet, you know?
Yeah, he probably designed the jet.
And those glasses, like
he's always had
sunglasses he's wearing.
He's always had the glasses, man.
Just strange, different glasses. Even like now, now-ish, like the glasses that become part of his nano suit that he talks to Friday on.
Yeah, but like it's still a callback from these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching this movie, loving this movie, and then the first day it came out on DVD, I was in college at the time, and I remember walking to the store, which was like a good 20 minutes, just to pick up my copy of Iron Man, the 2-disc DVD.
Yeah,
with the slipcover that was like Iron Man, and you take it off, and it's like
I feel
Tony
like I
Stark.
have that somewhere in my DVD stack.
I'd never since or that before or since ever done that, like gone to the store the day I'm like, oh my god, it's out, like gone to the store and bought it like full price. Never done that before.
Really? Because it used to be like when they would come out, like I don't know if this still does this because I haven't bought DVDs in a while, but Tuesdays when DVDs would come out, if you went to Walmart,
Tuesday.
They would be like 10 or 20% off.
Really?
Yeah, so that's like the day.
Maybe I did get. Yeah, you know what? You maybe that I did buy it when it was cheaper.
I also want one of these. You know, just.
Well, you got $500 million because. What does he say to peace?
I always find it weird that this guy's
in bed, right?
That he's just like, yo, what's up? I was just
like, I know it's late, but it's like it's a very weird thing because like he's shirtless and the angle, and it's just like,
didn't want to put on a shirt, dude. The humdrum V.
That one line gave us War Machine for the rest of the movie.
True. But yeah,
and we're already back to the beginning. Like,
yeah, I know. The AC/DC too being like this through line with his character.
It is, it really much is. Like anytime he comes back, that music is constantly playing, and
because like that moment in the first Avengers where Cap's like fighting Loki, and then the PA override, and you hear like "Shoot to Thrill," you know, and then like
it's like here comes Iron Man.
Yeah, and then the two of them are there, and just like he's like Mr. Stark, and he's like Cap. I was like, yes! I was so happy when that happened. It's so gross. It's such a shitty like just forced perspective shot, but it works so well.
It works so well, and you wonder for a second, like, did they? No.
This is how I grab water when I'm hungover in the morning. No,
constantly stumbling,
babe.
I love. One thing I think one of my favorite things I love about Iron Man 3 is the fact that they do a callback.
They do that, yeah.
Because they said like, oh yeah, we met in, I forget where they meet, but they meet at the thing, and then you see him, and you're like,
Oslo.
Sorry?
I think it's Oslo.
It's in Switzerland, though, isn't it?
Oslo. Oh yeah, maybe Switzerland. It's like a conference or whatever. This is so freaky. This part.
It is very freaky. There's one thing it always bothers me about this movie, and we'll see it later, but it's the fake belly.
Body cavity.
I don't like that. Like it doesn't look great.
When I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And
but
then
you see it now, and you're like,
and then I watch it now, I was like, oh, this looks really bad.
It doesn't hold up as much.
But at the time,
at the time it was fine. But like you look at the angle too, and we'll get to it later. And it's a small laughable moment. Like it throws you out a little bit.
What year was this that it released? 2008.
2008.
Yeah, May 2nd, 2008.
Yeah.
Actually, funny enough,
years ago.
Yeah.
When was this? When was it actually released? Like the day?
May 2nd, 2008.
May 2nd. Oh, missed it by that much.
We were recording this on the 8th, so this will come out a few days after that. But
it's probably when I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny thinking like.
When What were you doing 11 years ago?
I think I was actually filming a movie, but
Let's move past that.
opening weekend it made 96 million, and then over time it made 500 million, which is
That's the final.
insane. Yeah. As of October 2nd, 2008. I'm sure over time it's made like well over $1 billion in home sales, but it's just funny thinking now with Avengers like blowing past $1 billion in the first like 3 days.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
blowing past $2 billion in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Did you see it
2
twice?
weekends.
Have you seen Endgame twice yet?
No, I'm gonna go see it next week.
Yeah, I may go again in like
yeah,
a few
third time.
third time. Because even the second time I went, it was still packed, and there's still like fucking animals beside me, like this fucking chick like coughing all over me and
Really?
just being disgusting.
Yeah, like I know the first time I went was like all I can hear like is I didn't grab any food because I was afraid that like I would get it ruined from the just waiting in concession.
that could happen because
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what?
they have
I'm
Professor
not
Hulk
hungry.
in the suits.
Like I'm not hungry, so I'm just gonna move on. And at this point, and yeah, so like I'm in the theater, I'm not eating anything, but that's all you hear is like rustling and then like plastics and people trying to
Yeah.
open candy, and it kind of throws you out a little bit, right? Like you're trying to concentrate, and that's all you can hear. And also there were these people that like. These people, I don't know what they had to do, but they had to constantly get up, and I know this because they were in front of the projector,
Oh,
so you could just constantly see silhouettes, and it happened like 4 times.
when we saw it on opening night, there was these dudes that looked like they were the band BTS, but they bought seats way down in front, and then they thought they would just sneak up and sit in the aisle the whole time.
Yeah, no dice there. Those seat was probably full as hell, eh?
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I don't know, like fuck you, man. Like,
Is that what they tried to do? Like, is that what you saw them do? Like,
Yeah.
they went into the aisle. Like,
there's also another dude that just stood in the aisle for a while during the movie. He just stood up in the aisle on his phone.
on his phone.
Yeah, I know. I was ready
What?
to throw my popcorn at him. Like,
On his phone, like just
Yeah.
straight up gets up and you see like the light and everything.
yeah, and he just like stood there for a second and then went and sat back down.
That's bizarre.
I know. Some fucking
It's
people.
very
eh?
obnoxious. Like during Endgame,
I feel like there should be a secret trap door when you do something fucking shitty like that in a theater
Well,
and you fall down into a
It
pit.
reminds me of the line from Firefly, the TV show. There's a special hell for people, and it's for one thing that's bad, and then the second thing is for people who talk during the movie, like at the
Yeah.
cinema.
It's true though. I don't know. It's just fucking shit. Anyway, so Tony has become
Captured by the 10 Rings.
is that who it's supposed to be?
Yeah, that's that. You see their logo in the
Oh, I
background
see.
in the beginning. Yeah, so it's a full circle from that to the to Iron Man 3. And I don't know if you ever seen the one shots from Marvel's.
No, what's that?
So Marvel made these things called one shots. Essentially, they can be found on some of the like Blu-rays and DVDs of the movies, but little tidbits such as like a funny one of them is literally called a funny thing that happens on the way to Thor's hammer, and it's just about Agent Coulson stopping for gas, and there's a bank and there's a robbery.
Oh, okay.
So it's like little like
they're short
shorts.
films.
Yeah, little
I've seen the one.
2 to 5 minute short films.
Yeah, I've seen one of the Peggy Carter ones.
Yeah, there's the Peg. Yeah, there's that one, which I don't think is canon anymore because of the TV show kind of changed it. I never saw the
Yeah.
TV show. But yeah, there's like that one. There's one about like a missing item from the first Avengers, and this couple stole alien technology and are robbing banks with it.
Oh.
But there's one for Iron Man 3, which is actually I would recommend it. It's pretty damn good, but it's a continuation of the Mandarin or Trevor from Iron Man 3,
Oh.
of him being in prison. And I would recommend watching it. There's a lot.
They actually get Ben Kingsley for it?
Oh yeah.
Ah,
And
cool.
he's amazing.
Oh, that's
He's
awesome.
so good. He's so good in it, and I'm surprised you haven't seen it. But yeah, you know, definitely should watch that later, and you'll have a good laugh at it. And I like to think of it as canon.
Okay.
I mean, some of it was, some of it isn't anymore. But you know, like as the universe grows, they realize, you know, they've made mistakes here and there, in respects.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. This whole like scene too, like Tony Stark goes and dies in that cave, and he comes out as Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like the symbolism and whatnot that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it is and it isn't. I find, like, I remember comparing Iron Man when someone had told me who he was to Batman. Right? It's like so rich guy builds a suit and fights crime.
I don't think they compare at all,
But in a very broad term, they do.
they got a tiny cursory. I also love that in this part of the movie, just only now asks him, "What do I call you?" Like he didn't ask his name before that point.
I don't need to know. But do you know what I mean in respects of
Just rich, smart guy. Batman's more of a detective, though.
But he's still a very rich guy that builds a suit
Yeah, I
to
get
fight
it.
crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
The original basis, the difference
Doesn't
is,
have his parents anymore.
yeah. But the difference is Tony Stark is still Tony Stark. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, there's no alter ego. He is both, really. Like,
And it is known that he's Iron Man.
he's Iron Man. There's a, like, Batman is a very brooding character, and he really prefers to be Batman over Bruce Wayne. Like, he puts on a show as Bruce Wayne,
Yeah.
you know, to demonstrate, like, the rich, you know, where Tony Stark is just having fun. Like, he always
is
had
Iron
fun.
Man.
He is, but like, that's, and I prefer, I don't know, it's different, but it's similar, but it's like two different takes on it, right? Like the two different takes of rich.
No, I get it. But yeah. But like
I don't know where I was going with this. I think it's interesting.
I do like this overlay thing, like how he hid the designs.
But I mean, let's be honest. You look at one side of the design, you're like, that looks like an arm.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be a Jericho? I mean, to be fair, like, I don't know if they actually laid it down. I mean, let's be honest. You're gonna lay it down face wise. To me, if I was gonna do it, you do it on different like sides of the paper, so you know exactly like which way to line up the paper.
True.
There's a few things that I don't like about this scene. Is like, man, these kidnappers aren't the brightest.
No.
Like I'm surprised they didn't get caught. Like they got all through this. They built the power source. Haven't done anything. They see them playing like backgammon.
I know, right?
And it's just like, oh yeah, it's fine. They're gonna build the mission of it, like missile eventually. Like, really? Like, doesn't look like they're building no missile. Jeez.
I guess they are played out to be kind of the fool in a way in this, but yeah, I don't know. That never actually bothered me. I was just like,
It's in the rewatching. Like, again, I have problems with this movie. I found flaws in this movie. I found flaws in Endgame. It does not make it a bad movie. I very, very much enjoy these movies. I mean, to be fair, Iron Man, up until pretty much Thor Ragnarok, was my favorite MCU movie.
really?
There was something about, well, I mean, I've probably said this before, and I definitely said this to you, Adam, but I'm a sucker
Right.
for the origin story, and this is literally the origin story of two things: one, of Iron Man, and of the MCU itself.
True.
That
There's a lot of origin bits in this.
he looks like Hugh Laurie
a little bit.
every time. Always looks like Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, no, I get that. For me, it's Winter Soldier's my favorite, but
Winter Soldier is very, very good.
that,
again-
that to me was the shift in the MCU where it was like, oh, like we're
Let's
doing
be
some-
honest, the Russo brothers were the shift in the MCU.
True, but the Marcus and McFeely, they they started with
Captain America.
No, actually.
They did not.
Oh yeah, the first Cap
Yeah.
they did, but they also did Thor: Dark World. They wrote that too.
Really?
Which a lot of people don't like, but I actually like that movie.
It's an okay film.
Yeah.
It's not their strongest.
No.
I definitely like some of the following. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like some of it, but then I didn't like the Dark Elves. Like, I thought Dark Elves. I don't know. I wasn't a big sucker for the Dark Elves, but I still enjoyed the movie because I like Thor.
Yeah, I like Thor. I like seeing stuff on Asgard, and like I don't know. Actually,
The ending was really nice. I really enjoyed the ending of
I liked him and Loki teaming up.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I enjoyed that.
I don't know. I liked it. Like I remember seeing it in the theaters and being like, "Wow, that was good." And they give Jane something to do. And
I will be honest. The same thing. I said the same thing. I saw the second one and I actually thought it was better than the first one.
yeah,
And it was only years later that people were like, "Oh, it's crap." I was like, I mean, I don't remember being. It's not the strongest one out of all of them. But I remember
strongest Avenger. Yeah,
Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break, which is such a funny
Welcome, Thor.
callback.
Love it.
Yeah,
I mean, he's now Thorbowski or Lebowski.
Thorbowski.
Thorbowski.
If they don't do that, there's gonna be riots in the street.
If they don't do Thorbowski with Asgardians.
Yeah, there's gonna be riots. I tell you, riots.
Riots. I mean, let's all talk about Jeff Bridges being in this movie,
As Obadiah.
but as well as was he also cast as Lebowski, or was it another actor in this universe, or did Obadiah have a stint in acting in the in the 90s? Who knows?
I see.
That's what I want to know. I give me a backstory one shot of Obadiah
Marvel
Stane
one shot, yeah.
acting as the dude.
That'd be too much. We don't deserve that.
It got ruined by critics. Critics really didn't understand it. He shaved his head because he wanted to, be the furthest away from the dude, and that's what happened. That's his origin story. Oh, the scene.
This would suck so bad.
It would suck.
Do you ever put
so
just a
bad.
little bit too hot of pizza in your mouth, and you're like,
Oh,
"Oh
man.
no!"
Oh yeah, and but the worst part, it doesn't stop. Any cheesy bit that's hot, it doesn't stop because then it goes to it hits your chin, and then you can't
I have a
do
bit
anything.
of a buffer, so.
But I mean, if you have a slight beard, I mean, when I was a kid, it was the worst thing because you bite into it. At first, it's hot, so you kind of there's
the hammer scene,
the famous
best.
hammer scene that brings it all around.
It's got good score too. The MCU, I know they took a lot of flack back in the day for not having as good of scores, but I think that's just because Hans Zimmer was pumping out like the best Batman scores like the world has ever known.
Who did the scores for the MCU?
The big ones like the Marvel, like the Avengers theme and Cap's
Great theme, man.
is Alan Silvestri, who did
Right,
Back to the Future.
Silvestri.
So, but
Yeah, and he did the
actually-
Endgame and everything, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
What's
here.
a more? I mean, this movie, like its score is very rock and roll-y as well, right? Like it plays off of.
Yeah.
The suit up.
Da-na-na-na-na.
I never understood why he had to upload everything.
At the last second, because it's
I know it's like plot relevance and to add like suspense, but it's like when you've just uploaded that earlier before you put the suit on. And also, what are you uploading? Like
it's the software.
Software for what?
It's got to run the machine.
It's got what? Dun, dun, dun. Damn it! It's not compatible with Windows 10.
That's what it would have been out at the time too.
Windows 10 in 2008.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
No, I think we're still playing on like maybe not XP, but like Windows 7 probably.
Music. Raymond Jawadi.
I never heard of him.
Sounds really familiar. I feel like he does some TV.
He's a TV. He's a TV actor. Man, he even has his face
Yeah, he does
on
Game
there.
of Thrones. That's where I know him from.
I mean,
and Westworld.
I mean, Game of Thrones got a solid intro song.
Yeah, that's why I know his name.
Because you've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones.
Yes, the controversial.
All right, are we
Game
ready
of
for
Thrones.
spoilers for Game of Thrones? You never expected? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No,
we're not
we
gonna
won't do that to you.
No. Plus, I haven't seen the newest one, so.
Oh, let me spoil it for you.
And the tens of people who listen to this.
Think there's that many?
At least a baker's dozen.
All right. Hi.
That's what I want to believe. Okay. Man, it took him forever to put that freaking upload down.
I know, right? It's uploading the software.
Yeah, that's like the first thing you do before putting on the suit, man. Why
Maybe
are you
he
live
needed
testing
the suit
it?
on? Stick to the plan, man. Does he say get some?
That's what I heard too.
I think he said something in Hungarian.
No, I'm pretty sure that's his name.
Get some.
No, not
Oh,
get
yeah.
some.
His name is Get Some.
I mean, if that was his name, this
It's a cool shot.
Yeah, it's straight up Star Wars.
It's very Star Warsy.
It's totally Star Wars.
Uh-oh. This is a great scene.
Like, you can't tell me that's anything but Star Wars. The one thing though is like there's a big eye slots. Like I'm surprised he never
No bullets got
like,
through?
Nothing got through.
That's
Like-
the risk we're going to have to take.
Also the mouth. I mean, the suit looks accurate towards what the comic looked like for that suit, apparently. But like, it seems inefficient to have a mouth. Like there's like holes. It's like why?
It's like how Batman has the mouth hole. It's like, how come he never gets shot there?
Where are you?
That's good, yeah.
Oh,
Iron Man flat out kills people too.
that's the great thing about the MCU is they kill people. Captain America killed
I know.
like Mr.
He doesn't want to kill people, but
Mr.
fucking-
Goody Two Shoes like shoots people,
Mr.
man.
Guy who says language.
He shot people. He's a World War II veteran and has done probably crazy things.
Yeah. I love the evolution of his suits too. Just like we see this like
Well, starting up from the first one, he's got like he makes what 5 in them, and then going to the third one, he's got like 50 some at
Oh, with
that
the
point.
Iron
It's like
Legion?
holy crap.
have you ever seen the breakdown of where
All the different suits.
when Air Force One blows up in the third one, and all the people are falling out of the sky,
Yeah. He
and they
collects.
he collects them all, but it's like they actually film people falling, like skydiving.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. It's dangerous and puts the lives of stuntmen in.
That would hurt so bad in your own head.
Oh yeah.
The amount of CTE Tony Stark should have is
I mean, the man needs tetanus is not the right word I'm looking for.
tetanus. Why would he need a tetanus?
No,
shot?
not tinnitus.
Oh, like from sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Like that'd be so loud.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a rocket.
Like the CG is not the greatest, but I feel like it still holds up.
Nah, for 2008, it's pretty solid, I'd say.
For 2008, it's solid. Like looking at it now,
There was a lot of practical stuff in this, though. Like,
that's what I like. And I don't like the digital suit, and I guess like it'd be harder to make a practical suit, but I've seen practical suits.
the nano suit.
Well, just any of the suits, really. A lot of his suits were CG'd, and you can tell when it's CG, right? Because there's something
There's a look to it,
abnormal
yeah.
to it. And
I don't know.
I mean,
I give him a pass because
I don't. Okay, I require thousands upon thousands of dollars to make real suits.
I've
okay?
seen like on-set photos though of like he'll wear like almost like a football style shoulder
I've
pads.
seen those as well.
So the spacing of his arms is correct, or like some boots on. But
Bow, 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 bow.
Do da dee da boo da bee. I love that you see the arc reactor first.
That's
Get
another thing too.
some.
Like, I get like it's a movie, right? And it's to represent Iron Man, but there's no way in hell you'd keep that thing open,
What do you mean open?
like the actual arc reactor.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like it's like right in the open.
there's some bulletproof stuff over top.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
But what
It's
I'm saying,
made of bulletproof stuff.
but what I'm saying is, you know what I mean? Like in real life, it would be covered, but because it's rule of cool for movie,
yeah, the rule of cool.
the definitely rule of cool. Like there is so much rule of cool in this movie, but I give it a pass because of the rule of cool. Well, it's unlike any superhero movie you'd seen before, right? Like this dude kills people. This dude was an arms dealer.
True.
Like
It is the ultimate like turnaround story thing, you know?
and to start with Iron Man, I feel is also pretty risky. Because only the hard, bigger fans of Marvel are familiar with the Iron Man, right? Like you go with Captain America, people know Captain America,
Right,
over
but
Iron Man.
people didn't like they sort of scoffed at a Captain America movie.
I know.
in the beginning, right? And now he's like,
He is the hero. Like everyone loves Captain.
I think it was because we needed other stuff before to accept it. Like,
and this is the part where Iron Man dies.
well, because yeah, he for sure should be dead after that, right?
Like there's like the end.
But I think the reason why maybe they chose Iron Man is because Batman works so well. And to your point of the two being sort of similar,
People can get on
it was something.
board.
Maybe it was something people were like, "Oh, that's the Marvel Batman," and then they could introduce, you know, because they did 2 Iron Mans before they did Thor, right?
Yeah, so it was Iron Man, Hulk,
Oh, right. Yeah, they had Hulk,
and then Iron Man 2,
and again
Cap,
Hulk.
and then Thor.
We knew there was a Hulk before that. The Ang Lee made his terrible
That's
Hulk
true.
movie,
That's
and
true.
we knew Hulk from TV before that. We all knew.
And there was like there was the bad Captain America movies from like the 90s or the 80s. Those were bad. I watched them on TV once.
Who's Captain America in that? Is that the Roger Corman ones?
It might be. It's the one with the motorcycle.
Oh man, I don't
Like it's
even know.
like I think it's an either 90s or 80s, but I remember it playing
Captain
on TV.
America.
And it's like a TV movie. It was not great. I mean, I enjoyed it because I was a kid, but like it was not great. So that was the Captain America I knew. And when I wanted to watch the Captain America movie, I was like, oh, this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Captain America and other media.
In other media, first thing he does is grab himself a cheeseburger, which a lot of people didn't really get that reference in Endgame, but it's like,
Oh man, I fucking almost cried.
right? Right?
I'll get you all the cheeseburgers you want.
That's what I liked about that movie. It's definitely it pays a homage, but not an homage. Like
Captain America 1990.
It is
Ooh.
1990. Yeah, and he's got a freaking the motorcycle. It's great.
There's one.
That's
in
how I got introduced to
79.
Captain America with Red Skull and
Matt
everything.
Salinger. Is he the guy that plays Flash's dad? No. Dude, we gotta watch this.
Next time, Captain America 1990.
Who made that? I want an American cheeseburger.
Freaking Burger King, my boy. But no Whopper. He actually just gets a cheeseburger. I would have went for the Whopper. I like how he's actually a little. He actually doesn't reveal that he has. There's a line in here and I missed it and I just recently I don't know why I missed it. It's just it's a throwaway line. But look,
Right here.
yeah. He grabs a burger. he says, "You get me one of those?" He's like, "No, there's only one." And then later on, when he's in the car, he pulls out another one.
Yeah.
It's a small little moment, but I laughed at it. I was like, "That's funny." It's such a Tony thing
And
to
this
do.
is where we get to meet Agent Coulson. I also forget that Coulson's introduced in this one too.
Right. It's just the right amount of introduction that the second one fell a little flat on, but that's how people felt. I enjoyed the second movie.
Second Iron Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I felt a little bit like, whatever. I don't.
But you know what? I feel like the latest movies like Infinity War and Endgame bring a whole new layer of watching the old ones.
Rewatchability.
It does.
I totally agree.
Ultron, I remember being like, it was like, I'm like, it's not bad. But now rewatching Ultron after knowing what happened, see, like we just pulled a second burger out. But knowing that that's how it happened, like there's a lot of things in that movie that just, it makes it better.
Oh yeah, it makes everything better. The second Iron Man, though, that I didn't fully realize until I watched it again recently, is it's less of a story about Tony Stark versus this guy and more of a story of like an inner journey of Tony Stark. Like Tony Stark figuring out stuff for himself, like coming to terms
with
with
an inner
stuff.
journey, yeah.
Yes, coming to terms with stuff with his dad.
Yeah.
Coming to terms with being
new
Iron Man himself.
Death.
Yeah, like all these, that's what I've sort of found that at least the Iron Man movies have always been about. It's been about like his own character journey, and the story that we're witnessing, that we're going along with, is he sort of takes a backseat to Tony's character journey. That's kind of the way I've been looking at it. And then the bigger story is the story of the MCU and moving all these pieces into place for...
Yeah, and it has to happen somehow. And I think it works. It worked with Iron Man, with Tony Stark in that regards. Like it didn't feel like that full. Like I know you're introduced like with more Nick Fury, but people wanted that. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like it has to feel a little. You know what? It's like a pilot episode. Like in Iron Man, they don't. It's a little tease, and that's the perfect way to do it. You don't want to overdo it, right? Like you don't want a Batman v Superman this thing, because let's be honest, the first Superman, Man of Steel, was never planned to be anything.
No,
there was no plans. They can say there were plans. They could say there were no plans. I can tell you, like there were no plans for that.
No,
the only reason they got plans is because of this movie, because the Avengers were coming and DC had to jump on board on that. Which, speaking of DC, we can get into conversation about when Iron Man came out, and you mentioned this. Which one came out first? Was it The Dark Knight or was it Iron Man?
Actually, let's check. So, Iron Man came out May 2008. So, let's see. ...2008 as well, but the month
is March. Does it actually tell you? I should tell you.
July.
Okay, so we got Iron Man coming out
May.
In May.
July. So 2 months later. So yeah,
makes a big splash, and then you know, DC's like, hold my beer. Here's The Dark Knight, probably the best superhero movie ever.
Yeah,
at that
like
point.
standalone.
Like watch this.
And also like one of the best just films too. It's just like a good start to finish story. I love it.
So like here we go.
We sort of forget about Iron Man at that point.
And DC's on top. Like, well, DC's like, yeah, we had Batman Begins. Now we got Dark Knight. It's a strong thing. Our superheroes are cool. Like, what all Marvel's got is Spider-Man and a black vampire.
And they didn't even have Spider-Man though at that time.
But you know what I mean? Like they have Spider-Man. Like, you know, like Marvel itself.
Yeah,
has like that's their superhero.
And they had
that's all they're writing
X-Men
on.
stuff too, which like again, but at the same time though, like Spider-Man, like they kind of really tanked hard with the third one.
They made a lot of money, but yeah, it's not the greatest.
But the fans really didn't like it. And then X-Men, you know, that was sort of slowly declining. Again, making a lot of money, but
again, yeah. But they had great sequels. Spider-Man 2, X-Men 2 were at the top of their game. But again, it's not the point. I'm just saying DC was like #1 ranking. Like, you know,
I love
like
this reference too. This guy, that guy used to always be on.
always doing those stupid sound effects.
Yeah, I think after like the big crash, that guy went
Also
away. but-
crashed.
Yeah.
That seems
This guy's great.
exhausting.
To be that guy?
To be that guy?
I don't know. That's probably why he's bald.
But yeah, so just looking at 2008, DC, I feel, was still kind of on top with their Dark Knight series for sure. With,
Did you
with
know
Chris
what
Nolan.
DC's plan was too? Like, they even before. Here's that scene you were talking
Yeah,
about.
I don't like the body.
You can see where the lines are and everything.
It just, the body seems,
So that's him.
yeah.
And then that's on. It is kind of different.
Like the angle is weird.
It is kind of weird. But DC's big plan was they wanted to beat. They knew Marvel was building up to the Avengers. I think even before this, and they wanted to do Justice League right away.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, yeah, you brought me back to the point I was saying with Batman v Superman. Is like, all right, we're gonna introduce, we're bringing in Superman, we're bringing in Batman, and you know what? We're gonna introduce Wonder Woman's gonna
Flash.
go in there. You know what? Flash is gonna be in here for a bit too. Like, here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like Iron Man 2 got some flack from trying to introduce too much into the MCU, and
With Black Widow?
and it really isn't as much as what BVS
No.
was doing.
The problem, like the thing is though, they could have done that and made it good. They could have done a Batman versus Superman movie, like make Superman bad somehow. Like they could have done that
could have
movie.
been Justice League.
Yeah, they could have done something good, but it was just a bad script. It was bad direction, bad
Editing,
writing, bad
too, like,
editing. It was
I
bad,
never
bad,
saw, I
bad.
never saw the original cut, but apparently, because I saw the extended, whatever you want, ultimate cut,
Yeah,
and I didn't not enjoy it. Like, I'm like, okay. I'm just going into cardiac arrest now. Just the way he says it is just so. Ah!
yeah. This is funny. That's funny.
Never do that again. But I lost my like the ultimate cut wasn't bad.
Okay, it told you a bit, but the point of a movie is to show you the movie and have you get it in one go.
It's true. No, and I get it. And people have been trying to replicate what the MCU has been doing, and they've been just trying to catch. Like they're playing catch up instead of like let's just take our time.
Disney themselves are trying to do it again with Star Wars, and they're failing miserably.
I mean, let's look at the Dark Universe, which I don't know if you're familiar with that one. I think that's what
The
it's
Warner
called.
Brothers, Universal Dark.
The Universal, monsters. They tried with what? One, and then what do we get after that? None.
And we got that.
We got The Mummy.
amazing Tom Cruise.
I never saw it. Never saw it, but apparently it tried to do so much so fast.
Tried
It
to
wasn't
set
the
up,
greatest thing. And I remember I was kind of excited because I like the Universal monsters, right? And they had like big names attached to it. Like I think like you had Johnny Depp was supposed to play like the Invisible Man, and like they had everything, like a bunch of stuff planned. And Russell Crowe as
Jekyll and Hyde.
that sounds kind of
And
cool.
he's supposed to be like the Nick Fury. That's what they like. marketed
Yeah,
it
I heard
as.
that, but like you know what I mean, like it just everyone's trying to jump in on, and even the whole monsters thing, like the whole Godzilla, King Kong, like everyone's trying to
They
create
miss the point of it though.
this universe. And I will say I did enjoy Godzilla. I did enjoy Kong.
They're trying to do that too, aren't they?
But they are. That's what I'm saying. Like it's especially in Kong, it feels very connected. But it's not as pushed. But it's still like okay.
yeah.
Okay. That I don't know. It just I get that they're all trying to jump in on it, but no one's been as successful as the MCU's been so far.
I think what they did right was they concentrated on making a good movie first.
Exactly.
And then they, at the end, would stick in those little hints of it all connecting.
That's the thing. And that's why people didn't really enjoy Iron Man 2, because it felt too heavy-handed on that, right? Like it wasn't
the dots too much.
Because like if you look at this one, there is really no connection until really the ending, right? There might be little Easter eggs and stuff, but there's really nothing until the end where people go, "Oh shit!"
This
like I remember people losing
something.
their shit at the movie theater when
really?
like Nick Stark shows up, and I'm like, I'm
say
like
Ned Stark
when
the Avengers are coming.
What did I say Ned Stark?
I don't know.
Nick Fury. Maybe I think I said Nick and then Stark, which sounds like Ned Stark. Anyways, Nick Fury, when he showed up, to me, like as a kid, I'm like, okay, I they're talking about the Avengers. I'm familiar with the Avengers, but like people are like being excited. So like you have nothing but feeling excitement. Like, yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, honestly, it was after a while, because until the MCU, until what, like Iron Man 2, even it was a while before I stayed after the credits on a lot of movies. It was a great shot. It's so forced, but it's a great shot. This is also like
another Star Wars,
very Star Wars. Like,
look, sir, droids.
Yeah, we ain't found shit.
They said, "Calm the desert." That's what they're doing. Calm the desert.
I like that guy's glasses. I want those glasses.
Yeah, people always have cool glasses that never exist in real life.
The props are so cool in this movie, like all the gizmos. You know what I really wish that... Well, I guess that little robot guy, does he get destroyed in the third Iron Man?
No, he picks it up again.
Okay.
He actually at the end of Iron Man 3, you see him, like he's in need of repair, but you see him, he actually grabs him out of the house or out of the... He goes and collects it.
Right.
Because that's it. Because I don't know if you know this.
I was really hoping that robot was going to be at that funeral scene too.
Well, that robot is like the first thing he ever built as a kid.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. If you look at the beginning of the movie, you see him as a kid, like winning a prize or whatever. Like that robot's there. Like that's what he built.
Oh.
So that's why like he doesn't destroy it, even though it sucks. It's just, and he probably hasn't played with it in forever because.
Yeah.
It's one of those things he built as a kid.
Again, spoiler, but like the trailer for the new... This is funny. You fucking...
Love it.
It's cool how they did this, eh? Like they had him standing on like little platforms with wires, like picture like miniature swing sets. Oh. You'd be dead right there. I love that. And then he puts the fire extinguisher on him, that gag.
The end of Iron Man, the second time.
So... I wonder if they will do a tie-in, and so because like Peter Parker,
we're talking about the spoiler for Spider-Man,
the trailer for
the new trailer. So just beware, people.
So,
anyways,
him maybe like Spider-Man taking over kind of the mantle of Tony Stark in a way.
Maybe I want and
that
I
robot
don't
comes
want
back.
that. You know what I mean? Like I want and I don't want that at the same time. Because I love Spider-Man. But I don't know how I feel about him like being the mantle of the new Iron Man. Like, cause I mean, he's still a kid. He's still learning. I do love this scene because he's trying to do it as a propulse, not as a weapon.
Right.
It's just a mistake.
Yeah. Didn't expect that.
I like that. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh. He can actually use it as a weapon now, and he's not really thinking about it.
Kind of forgot about this scene that...
I love that pizza. That
he
pizza always looks so good.
Dude, I have a problem with watching
pizza from New York.
These shows, yeah, and or movies, and then we see pizza in the movie, and I'm like, fuck me, I need pizza.
I know, like it looks so good.
Fucking Tony Stark.
It looks so good, but it doesn't at the same time.
Yeah, because I know I'm like, I can get pizza. I have the ability right now.
But it's also, it doesn't look like the most appealing pizza. But I bet it's delicious.
True.
It's definitely better than pizza. Like I've been eating a lot of pizza lately, and
pizza is the worst.
It's just it's not the pizza you want. It's the pizza you just need at the time.
True. I'm gonna go make use of the necessity, as they say.
You gonna go poop?
I wish.
You wish you had to go poop? I mean, what am I supposed to do? Just talk to myself?
Here I am alone.
Here I am talking to myself. That's chaos theory. So here we see Jeff Bridges play Obadiah Stane playing the dude as Lebowski. I can hear him peeing, so I feel like he's peeing. Unless it's a really, really loud poop. Look at that pizza. I want pizza now. Adam, can we order pizza? We'll order it while we're still on the movie. It'll be like a great moment for listeners. All Baker's dozens of them. Oh, the poor cars. I watched this movie with my dad, and all he could say for this scene is, not the cars, not the cars. It's like, Dad, they're probably not even operational. I was saying we should just order pizza and like still record. Guy comes in, you hear us like talk about
That'd be funny.
us ordering it.
I tried that on another commentary for a movie.
Did you?
Yeah, we ordered pizza during the recording for the
Brilliant.
movie, one of the commentary tracks, but then we had to throw it away because we got too drunk.
But isn't that the best? Wait, what happens at the end then? You guys got so drunk that
the recording stopped and we didn't realize.
Oh God.
Yeah, this is a great scene because it's really practical. Just, you know, some of the propulsion, paint out like the rig that's holding them up, you know.
It would be so hard.
Oh, you
to
know how this is
control.
recording, like, and maybe Peter Parker finds that recording somewhere, and you know, like he's
Stop
sad.
thinking about it, man.
Oh, that's awesome. You know how hard it would be.
Yeah,
to
right?
hold yourself up with just those propulsion,
Like
just those four.
It's plausible, but it's like no.
They do show in, I think, some of the other movies that he's got a bunch of boosters for stabilization. You know.
Oh, here comes
Oh,
some of your
the
favorite
build-on
scenes. Why
scene,
do you
I love them.
love these build-in scenes?
I don't know. This is fucking cool, man. It's just all the sound effects too. And I think that's also why I love the Transformers. Good.
Where are you going now?
Closing the door.
You're gonna order pizza? Is that what's happening? I mean, I just ate a big sandwich, but like that
I
pizza.
fucking made you a burger like the other week too, and
Oh, that was a good
I've
burger.
yet to get any type of food repayment.
Sorry, that was there was a fee associated with that burger. I thought that was
There was
just
a fee?
I thought that was a friendly burger. Okay, I thought it was just like, hey, thanks for coming over and like talking
Here's
while I
here's
pee.
a burger.
Here's a burger.
Look at this suit. Doesn't it look fucking cool?
Going through all. You're gonna get that little Iron Man. Have you seen that little statue, like robotic? It's like a little robot Iron Man.
I haven't seen that.
No.
This also, so the heads-up display. This
I
is
remember
something
that being a huge thing on Video Copilot.
Oh yeah. What I was gonna say was that it was Jon Favreau's idea because so like the dilemma that you have with like a Batman
How do
movie.
you talk to? How do you?
Well,
see his face?
like we paid all this money for Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Why don't we see his face?
I mean, if you think about it, it doesn't really make sense because like that helmet is like right on his face.
Oh no, it doesn't make any sense at all. But it's a really great idea. Like I'm sure like it made everybody happy, and it's also like it's cool. Like we see in his helmet, we see some of his
yeah,
targeting.
it's
we
like
see
a
more
weird
tech, like-
perspective that doesn't exist technically. It's kind of like we're seeing him to what he's seeing out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a hard.
That kid
Maybe that was
eating the ice
Spider-Man.
cream. Imagine.
I mean, it was. Wasn't it confirmed that it was the kid from Iron Man 2 with the mask that almost gets killed by those other robots? That was confirmed.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was indeed Peter Parker. I mean, I feel like it's a confirming, like, meaning like fans wanted it to be, and then they're like,
sure.
I mean, it's not going to change anything, and the thing lines up. Yeah, why not? Of course it is. We just couldn't say anything because, you know, Sony.
This is like a really simple, like, we'll just throw this in, and then like he screws up, but it also comes back in handy, you know.
It's great foreshadowing, but in a realistic way, because of the fact that you probably wouldn't have thought about, like, I'll get the de-icer, like
it's
a
also,
real plane.
It's also what's kind of neat as well is just the evolution of him solving the problems of his suit, like the de-icing. Okay, this one, he
exactly. The first one is like the first one. It's like, okay, we need more, you know.
It needs to do
metal,
more, whatever. He has
Second thing, it's like, okay,
special.
need some de-icing and throw some paint on there.
And then
A little bit of hot rod red.
right, and then but just even yeah, it falls through, breaks the piano. I heard that they love that this fire extinguisher. They built a replica Corvette, obviously, to smash that. But then I thought it was something like they two of them got mixed up on the day.
Really?
I might have.
Is it like the guitar from Hateful Eight?
Oh yeah, that was like this fucking
he didn't
priceless whatever.
And apparently he thought it was the replica or something. Like, he didn't think it was the real one.
And he smashed the shit out of it. That's such a good scene.
Out of it.
And
never seen it. I want to. I just never had a chance to watch
what's
it.
her name? Daisy DeMarmu or whatever. I forget the actress's real name, but she reacts so strongly in that scene. Like, what the fuck? That's like her being like, "You fucked up, man! Like, you broke the guitar."
That's crazy.
But yeah, like later in the movies, like all the different stuff, like Iron Man 2, he can't get the suit on fast enough, so he makes the suit able to put on him faster. Iron Man, you know, what is
it?
It's 3.
Just an army of
he has all
Iron
these
Men.
different ones that he can take on and off. Like if his
there's like a literally scene where he's jumping out of one and then into another,
and then
without
like,
issue.
Avengers, you know, like he has like a new suit, and the suit can't go to space. Then he makes for Infinity War suit that can go to space.
Nanotechnology suit, which pretty much go on
more power. Just the way he just keeps evolving his suits, I love it.
I mean, it's a combination of evolving the suits and a combination of Q kind of movie thinking,
right?
Meaning like, oh, I'm glad I made this suit that was so relevant to the plot at this exact moment, kind of thing. But not to the extent of the Q giving the exact same like Bond weaponry, but it just in a fact that it does come in handy, right? Like from the get-go, from the beginning, it always felt like that a little bit.
I want like just that faceplate, like that's on my wall next to like Meowmer and Cap's shield. You know what I mean?
I mean, would that be something you grab? Like, I know I think Hasbro makes them, like the shield replica, like made of metal and stuff.
Oh, it actually made of metal.
There's one that is. It's a little bit more expensive, but yeah, there's one that is. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
it's like,
I want that on my wall, dude.
Like, I want that. I want the Quill mask, the Star-Lord mask.
Oh, Star-Lord mask.
I want the Iron Man mask. I want Mjolnir. It's like, but for sure, Mjolnir and the shield are like. And it means a lot more now.
I think it'd be funny to bolt it to the ground somehow, so that people actually can't pick it up.
They actually can't.
Sorry, you're not worthy.
Put it in an elevator. Elevator goes up. Elevator's not worthy.
Yeah, it's what I love that. It's like, I love that scene with Cap. He's like, but if you put it in an elevator.
Elevator's not worthy.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
What do you think that fan theory is on he was actually trying not to lift it for
I think that comes from the comics that Cap he's referred to as Hef.
The first in the MCU, right?
Is that the first in the MCU? I thought he was in Spider-Man.
this is the MCU.
Oh, I see.
Like obviously, like this is the first time. Yeah, he's in every single Marvel movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I mean, I bet you he's probably in the 1990 like Captain America movie that we will watch next.
If he's not, I would be so disappointed.
Was that him? I have a question for spoilers again, but I mean, we're already way past that. But was it him in Endgame?
Yeah.
It was. It was a
Yeah.
de-aged version of him?
Was it de-aged? I guess it was a little bit.
Yeah, it was like him when he was young. I thought it was like a different actor, but they used his voice.
Yeah, I guess because it goes by so quick.
It goes by really quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a brilliant send-off, too. I loved it. Ooh, Gwyneth.
Gwyneth. Is that a jade rock up your vagina?
A what?
You don't hear about her company, Goop? She tells people to put jade rocks up their cooters.
Why?
I don't know. She says it gives them like special powers. This is like a legit company she has. She sells magic.
Goop?
Yeah, Gwyneth Owen Paltrow, I think, is.
I don't like the
the
Goop name.
No, that's the name of the.
Nothing against Gwyneth Paltrow as an actor, but as a person,
Bad.
it's weird.
Not a good person.
Like Tom Cruise. Don't really like him as a person.
I hear if you meet him, he's like the best.
Is he?
Yeah, like the nicest. Makes you feel like.
Because I hear really bad things, and it sucks because I like Tom Cruise as an actor. Like he's a good actor.
If he jumps on your couch, he will take his shoes off.
But he's a good actor. And just the stuff that he does while acting, like all the stunts and stuff, is insane.
Yeah, he's amazing.
It's insane. Take a second for just to acknowledge we really like Tom Cruise. But
Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks,
oh,
Tom
don't
Hiddleston.
even get me started on Tom Hanks, man. And I could talk all day about Tom Hanks.
We got to do a Tom Hanks movie for you.
Have we not done a Tom Hanks movie?
I don't think so, dude.
What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
Big, probably Big.
Is it Big?
Or
I've never seen the extended edition, which there is one, by the way.
Money Pit. I like older Tom
Money
Hanks
Pit is great. Money Pit is one of my favorites.
Catch Me If You Can's pretty high up there too, but that's him and Leo. So
to me, it's The Terminal.
This is another example. Back to Iron Man, the two of them on the balcony scene with that dialogue. So I think this.
But you know what? I think that it feels real.
I think that's why, like, if it is improv, sort of like if they just said, okay, this is sort of the direction we want to go, we're gonna start bouncing.
What
it
is
back
this?
and
Curb Your
forth.
Enthusiasm?
Maybe, yeah. But like, I don't know for her at all, but I know she sings pretty well, Gwyneth Paltrow. So,
how does that relate to?
but if you're into music, you're good at improv usually, like because you improv a lot.
Like that's jazz. That's just jazz.
No, but if you're in a band, there is a crossover a bit. Vodka martini. You know what's funny about olives? Of all the pickled things, have we talked about this before?
I don't know. I enjoy olives until I don't.
Fair, but like, okay, olives are like, oh, I'm a fancy upper class person, but then you go just down one, still pickled in almost the same juice, but a pickle is like you're fucking at a backyard barbecue, you have no shirt on,
Or at a pub. Like it's always it comes with a sandwich.
Yeah, it's like giving away like, oh, you dirty piece of shit. Here's your fucking pickle with your fucking dirty sandwich.
Okay, but would you prefer a pickle or an olive?
Fucking pickles all day, dude.
Yeah,
But
and
what
it's
I'm
not
saying,
the same juice.
society is making pickle people out to be the bad people when all the people are actually the bad people. Oh no, Stark Industries.
How they get such a close up?
Yeah, no, they have like amazing photographer. I guess actually ISIS does have pretty good media
Photographers?
team apparently.
A media team.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually watch any ISIS videos for the record.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't seen Archer in a while. We shouldn't probably joke about that. It's a real issue.
So this is setting up Obadiah as
it's
maybe
funny
not the
'cause
good guy.
I watched the movie. I went to see it with my dad, and like from the beginning, my
Iron
dad's
Man?
like, "Yeah, this one." 18-year-old me, fresh out of high school, but that doesn't matter right now. But no, that like from the get go, my dad takes one look at Obadiah. He's like, "Oh, he's the bad guy." I'm like, "What?
Yeah, he's got
Why do you
bad guy
think?"
face.
He's bald. All bald people are bad guys.
True, Lex Luthor.
And then, of course, when this scene kind of
Thanos.
happens, and he like all my dad does is give me a look like bald guy, like just like that cocky, like I knew it, I told you.
That's funny. Oh man, he's got the glove. Look at the glove.
You wish you had a glove like that. You think it's real? I don't think it's real. I like the impulse that he has right here. You know what I mean? Like it's straight up an impulse. Like, I'm just gonna tweak this. I'm trying to turn it off. Like I don't want to pay attention. No, you know what? I gotta do something. This is ridiculous. Like, and he just does it. Like he leaves, and like 20 minutes later, he's over there.
Yeah, he travels really quick.
Like he wasn't planning on, like, you know what I mean? Like the Iron Man wasn't really designed as a weapon per se.
You think?
To me, rewatching it doesn't, like, let's think about it. Like he wasn't really planning on making it as a weapon. Like, see,
That's a great
right now
shot.
he's about to see, like, just now he's just like he's like, you know what? I could use this as a weapon.
I never got
Like,
that.
Look
I
at
just
that look that he gives, right? It's just like,
I just always assumed he was gonna make.
but look at that look that he gives, and he's just like, okay, all right. Like you can see him, like the wheels are turning. He sees himself like as a.
I always just saw it as he was trying to build a weapon.
To me, I saw it more as a way to protect the world, but not as a weapon itself. Like he wasn't going out to like
It's
defeat
great.
this
The
thing.
suit up scene again.
To me, like, especially because they mentioned earlier that he didn't see that hand thing coming.
As
When
a
you see him,
weapon.
when you see him shoot it again, you see like his like everything, like just like you can see his brain kind of, you know, things are wrapping around. He's like, you know what?
Now that I watch it and you say that, I could see that.
You can kind of feel that different way. I mean, yeah, there are missiles in the suit because he's still an arms
This
dealer.
shot,
right?
it
Like,
took them a while to be like, okay, we're gonna do that. See, he's got a cover over it.
in this one, I don't believe he had a cover in the first one.
True.
Because if you look at the
There's no padding in that helmet.
none whatsoever.
It's just metal.
Maybe there's like a foam that fills in.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, that would really hurt. It like shake, one little shake. But yeah, you like it was an impulse move, right? Like he wasn't planning on attacking right there. He's just like, you know what? No, I can use this as a weapon. I should use it more of a way to, you know, less of a protecting myself for future reference,
Right, more.
and more as a superhero. I
Putting
don't
a
think he was
suit of
planning,
armor around the world.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he was planning on being a hero. He
Right.
was seeing more of like, I don't want to be kidnapped again.
Right. I see that.
Like I don't know. I never saw that, but like just rewatching that scene like the other day and rewatching it, just it felt like, I don't know, just an extra layer.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I always just thought of it as like.
I could be wrong. That's just my interpretation.
No,
of it,
I
right?
actually I like that better than my own. I just saw it as this was his end game to go and just get revenge in some way. Also, that he has just this impulse, no matter what, to
make things better.
just to to make things
Exactly. That's the thing. He's a tinkerer.
Yeah.
So he wanted to perfect like the thing he
can't
had made.
leave it alone.
He can't. And then I mean it's made more evident with like the third one specifically. He literally will not live.
Superhero landing. Yeah, he flat out murders people in this.
Oh yeah. Straight up. And that may be not murder, but right there is murder. Like right
Oh yeah,
there.
this one is great though. It's very like gunslinger, you know.
It is very much so. All right.
Civilian. Dun, dun, dun. That was great.
Well, people don't even know what to do with that.
What would you do?
I don't
Giant
know.
red shiny man just like
Show
came-
up, kills all the bad guys. Like, thank you.
and he was playing like Back in Black at the same time.
That's Spider-Man.
That could be Spider-Man. This guy's got the only satellite phone. That's straight out of Batman, though. That punch through the wall and pull somebody through it, straight out of the Dark Knight comic book. Oh, I was going to order everybody pizza.
Like, he dead. Again, third time Iron Man
That
should have
tank
died.
looks so fake now. I love this.
Like,
too.
he should have died. Like, he just took a straight hit
Yeah.
on the first, like, I guess third gen.
This is the start of the cool guys don't look at explosions.
Maybe not the start, but definitely a really cool moment.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun,
Because it is a
dun.
Tony Stark moment, too. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
need to look. He knows what his thing can do.
Yeah.
Not like, what's his face? Justin Hammer.
Yeah.
Hammer Tech? Yeah.
I like that they brought the Hammer Tech into the TV shows. That's like the gun that... Have you seen any of the Marvel TV shows?
Which one? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, like just the other ones like...
You're talking about the Netflix show?
Yeah, I was just thinking Luke
Really?
Cage, the bullet that can drill into Luke Cage.
That's a hammer?
That's Hammer
technology?
Tech, yeah.
Either I missed that or I don't remember because I seen Luke Cage like a long time ago.
Which is kind of cool. I know Kevin Feige says they're not canon to the MCU, but
yeah,
they kind of brought in Peggy Carter as canon in a way because they use the same guy.
You're talking about the ABC show.
Is that ABC that made Peggy Carter?
Yeah. ABC is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Peggy Carter.
'Cause, yeah, Peggy Carter. I watched
Those are
most of
more
those.
canon than the Netflix the shows.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I didn't stick with, but I know it sort of ties close to like the end of season 1.
It does. It ties into like Winter Soldier and stuff like that, which is a reason why they kind of went away because it was kind of...
Was it Winter Soldier or was it? Yeah, because I know it ties into Ultron as well.
Does it? I know there's like a one where they deal with like Thor 2, the whole mess that happens at like when they show up on Earth. So there's like a few things, but I think I'd heard like they were straight like going away from that and like how they're gonna deal with the snap and all that after that as well. It might restrict the show, so they might like stick to their own kind of. Because think about it, right? Like the show, all of a sudden, like with the snap, it just like 50% of their cast is gone as well.
Yeah. I love how Brody knows to call Tony right away. Like,
oh, he has a feeling like that must be one of Tony's toys. It's me.
yeah. You are clear to engage. Back to talking about just how I love that they've kept almost all the same people.
It's the guy. Yeah, I know. He's in the third one or the second one. He comes back.
I was gonna say the general in Thor, Hulk.
Hulk, yeah.
He ends up in those movies as well.
Civil War.
The senator that's trying to take away Tony Stark's suit.
Yep.
In the second one is that same senator who's Hydra.
Yeah.
He's like a famous comedian. I forget his name.
He is.
Right
He's
now.
dead now,
Just,
I believe.
Yeah, he just passed away, unfortunately. But yeah, he's still in it, which is awesome. The president, the guy in
the third one?
Yeah, I think he's in like a few of them too.
I don't remember. He might be in one.
I love that. The cell phone sound, call back to just like just the technology, right? Like flip phone. And now we're in Marvel and like Endgame, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
just
well, I mean, then again, Endgame
through
takes
the
place
years.
in like 2023.
Is that when it's supposed to be?
Well, it's 5 years after 2018, right?
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually now in the future.
He's on the bottom.
A man.
An Iron Man.
I do like the thing on that too. It's like technically it's
There's also
not
a very another Star Wars reference with him being on the bottom. Remember in Empire?
Right. Man, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff happening. John Favreau's a huge Star Wars nut, apparently. I mean, that would not surprise me.
Yeah.
John Favreau's a nerd.
I love this that you see the no shoot.
No more table. Sorry, that was a
No shoot.
that's a cool scene. Cool shot.
My shoot's jammed.
Imagine you just let him die.
Yeah, he's like, fuck
Oh.
you, man. You were trying to kill me 2 seconds ago.
Be the worst. Yeah, because that guy shows up again.
That guy, yeah. In what?
He's an Iron Man 2, an Iron Man.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Again, I watched them all like back to back, right? So you can.
Is
There's even
he-
like a small actor from Winter Soldier that shows up again in I believe Infinity War.
Oh, really?
Infinity War or Ultron. Yeah, and I only recognize him because he plays the young version of Austin Powers in Goldmember.
Okay.
But yeah, he's just a random operator for the thing where in Winter Soldier they tell him to like to send out the ships, and he's like,
Okay.
no. And then he shows up again in
Oh,
Ultron,
yes,
and he's
yes,
still
yes.
there, and you're like, oh shit, that's kind of neat. Like he's a
Yeah,
small
yeah.
little minor character, like a tiny little.
Training exercise, yeah.
I mean, I definitely would have liked Terrence as
It would have been
Rhodey.
just different, you know? Who fucking dresses in those pajamas like that, by the way?
Jeff. You know, this is the weirdest role for Jeff.
I'll tell you who
Bridges.
dresses in pajamas like that. Fucking olive eating people.
Like, I didn't know Jeff Bridges when I watched this movie. Like,
For real, eh?
well, you know what I mean. Like, I watched things like The Big Lebowski, but like, I got to know Jeff Bridges with further
he's
movies.
the voice of the
after that.
Duracell guy.
Is he?
He's the old Duracell
Good God.
voice.
I love this because it shows you think of the contrast of what it is now. Like, all he does is wear a hoodie and zips it up. Like,
Yeah, the nanobots all come out and it can do
like right now
unlimited stuff.
it's having such trouble. Or even like the scene in Avengers where he's just walking, talking to Loki as the thing
And it's
just
like-
keeps taking it off. It's like, oh
I do like Iron Man 3, how it's just parked outside that restaurant and he has that panic attack
Yeah, he
and
just
he just
gets
like
in
gets
there.
in it. Like, if I could just like park a suit like that outside, like, you know what I mean?
do you think it's comfortable?
I don't know. I like to think like maybe
I'd like to think like he designed it to be comfortable.
because like you wouldn't, it would move everything for you. Like,
Here's another thing though. There's like Rhodey, like when he steals the Warhammer suit.
War Machine
The War Machine suit.
and Iron Man 2.
I feel it'd be so uncomfortable because it wouldn't be catered to him, like not the height, like you know what I mean, like it wouldn't necessarily fit him properly.
Yeah, there is a lot of that. Just it conveniently fits people, but yeah, I don't know. I just sort of like Tony probably built the suit so that if he ate too much pizza, it would-
Well, he built it so you can pee in it.
yeah, apparently.
A lot of people ask me how do I pee in this suit.
I just did.
I just did.
That's also got DJ AM in it. That guy,
I don't know who that is.
he's the DJ guy in the party scene. He's like a famous DJ. Well, he was. He passed away, I think, in that plane crash.
There's a lot of musicians that pass away in plane crashes. You need to be more specific.
Yeah, I guess so. It's that one, same one with Travis Barker was in. Travis Barker escaped somehow.
I don't know who that is either.
Drummer for Blink-182.
Leonard Skinner died in an airplane crash. Like, it's all
That's
I know.
your last reference.
Like, that's my last reference, bro. Like, see? Do you see? Like,
yeah,
it just
there's a whole.
like if they didn't show that, you can maybe assume like there was a protective, but there's not.
A gift of Iron Soldiers. I like the idea of this Iron Soldier, but I could just give you paralysis with this thing. Oh, we don't have the subtitles on, but I'm sure he says something menacing that tells us that he's the bad guy now.
I mean, we pretty much figured he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
He shows up and they know each other. But then again, you could be saying like maybe he's the good guy because he's been undercover.
The
But you
whole
realize,
time.
No, he's just a bad guy because he's bald. Bald people are evil. I'm sorry. Hashtag bald people are evil.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
He is more like John Goodman now than he is the dude.
He's a John Goodman character.
Dun 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 dun. Tony Stark.
To me, like the best scenes of the MCU, and those are some of my favorite scenes in Endgame, which a lot like some people criticized about is those slow scenes, is those character development scenes. Like I enjoy Tony Stark being Tony Stark and not Tony Stark in Iron Man kicking ass. Like I prefer these slow scenes, him like thinking of stuff, you know.
No, I agree. I know Joss Whedon had to really fight hard for the scene at Clint's house and the party scene in Ultron.
Really? That is one of the best scenes.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite scenes in all the MCU is that hammer lifting scene. It is brilliant, and it makes the Endgame scene so much stronger.
I think,
again, Ultron is made so much stronger with more movies, but
they
he fought for that. I know he fought for the Avengers cut part, which again,
the one shot,
which
one
is
take.
Like the part where he goes Avengers, and then it stops, and he purposely stopped it that way so that there would never be.
Oh yeah,
because he knew studios would want him to finish the line, which again brings back my point of Ultron is a very strong movie after watching.
Yeah.
The future. Like, look at Endgame of, like, Avengers Assemble. You're like, it's the first time he's ever said that.
I do like seeing the upgraded tech that happens in Ultron. Like, when they're fighting, they're, like, storming, what is this, Stroker or whatever that guy is.
Yeah. You're talking about the whole beginning scene
like,
there?
you see Cap Shield's got this extra thing on it.
He has the magnet, which never comes up again. But which is a weird thing because it's a great way to explain how it has a mind of its it has a mind of its own.
It's magic at that point.
And it was magic at first. Then they're like, oh, there's a magnet. Okay, I'm cool with that. Then it became magic again.
Yeah, but Tony, does make him another shield. I don't know. So Cap's got more than one shield. You know,
I hate scenes like this because they just stress me out.
I'm doing the thing I'm not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, where like time is of the essence, and then like you could see the guy like start showing up. You're like, come on.
It's like the scene in Back to the Future 2 where he's sneaking around the office to try and steal back the almanac.
Oh man, yeah. It's just. I mean, I enjoy it, but there's that sense of like stress a little bit, like, oh my god, especially if you're invested in a movie, right? Like,
Ghost Drive. I love all this stuff.
It's one thing I hate about any movie.
Hacking. I'm hacking into the hacking.
Well, not hacking, but just how computers never work like they do in real life.
Never.
You can't just scroll something and then it shows you every single file.
And
like
they only type.
Oh yeah, and they always type. No one ever uses a mouse. There's Hugh Laurie again.
I like that it translates for her. Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's technology. Okay,
and
cool.
It's in that guy's voice.
I never noticed that.
He recorded his own subtitle.
He's like Jackie Chan.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I always hate like computers because they never look real. You know what I mean? Like they never ever look real. It's like, let me open this file here, and it's just like the file's like
Avengers, when Tony's watching footage of the proposed team of Avengers, the footage of Nat and Nat and Hawkeye is footage from later in the movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
It's small in the corner, but yeah, it's just like
that's really bad. They must have not had footage, and they're like, no one will notice.
I think if you are an olive eating person, you also drink in the middle of the day like this.
So you're saying like Don Draper would be an olive eating person?
Fucking olive.
He's a pickle guy who's pretending to be an olive eating person.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about the show, but I do know that he's not actually Don Draper.
Well, yeah, because his name is Don.
His name is Fred Raper, actually.
Fred Raper.
I don't know.
His name is Peter File? Pedophile? Shouldn't joke about that. That's just terrible.
I was doing work at a house one time, and these people had a business, and
I thought you were going somewhere. I don't know where you're going with this. Where is this happening?
and they had a business called like Pet Rest, and then but their license plate said like Pet Arrest, and I was like,
Pet Arrest. When you want to say something, but everyone else sees something else.
Yeah.
Is this a gun case, Adam?
It's a guitar case.
Looks like a gun case. It's getting I'm like, are you getting ready for an assassination or something?
I leave all my guns out in the open, obviously.
I mean, you actually do. You got a bunch of
toys, props.
Yeah, prop guns everywhere. Like he's got like a one of those was like a toy people like put in for like toys, like a little shelf for toys or tools
for children.
Yeah, things to like organize toys, and all that's in there is like you got Legos in one, replica guns everywhere.
There's some practical stuff in there, like cables and hard drives,
and a plate that is also a clock. When is that ever practical? You can't eat on it. You can't tell time,
dude.
Hey, what time is it? It's time for dinner.
I like that he just figures out now, like, damn it, she stole all my secrets.
I think he knew. He just wanted confirmation, right? Like he's just like he had a. I love Coulson in this. Like
he's just waiting.
He plays such like an innocent little. But then when time is to like when it's action time, like Coulson is badass, man.
Yeah,
I miss Coulson. I gotta watch more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just for Coulson. Like I love Coulson, and especially rewatching them with my girlfriend. Like, she was really getting like attached to Coulson. You're like, oh, wait for Avengers, man. Oh, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, because he's in like this one. Is he in the second? Yeah, he's in the second.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, he's a big part in the second. Because the second one is to lead up to Thor, because that's where he goes to.
Yeah, and then he's in Thor. He's not in Cap though.
Yeah, the only reason he's not is because Captain America takes place in the 40s.
The end of Cap, the start and end of Cap takes place in
yeah, but
the present.
We only get to see Natasha, I think we see. No, it's just, or is it just Fury?
Just Fury, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, that was a bad fart. Like I can, like my farts smell like sour cream, and I don't know why.
Sour cream, eh? Oh no, he uses that fucking tech majigger on.
That never comes up again.
Yeah, I know.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing about the MCU, is any little type of thing like think of the technology from Iron Man 3 that could probably save Tony Stark from Endgame.
Oh, the Extremis?
Like, you can't tell me he hasn't played around since then with that stuff.
Like the Iron Legion, or
no? I'm talking about the like it pretty much grows, like it makes people immortal.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Like,
also, where did he get that tool?
I don't know. He had those like friends build it.
And why does he need it? Like, can't he just like it seems so excessive but so cruel. Like at the same time, it's like
Bond villain.
Like
maybe
he doesn't need it, but it's like
stable.
Damn.
What a dank.
I know. But I mean, who saw it coming? He brought pizza.
Jeff Bridges is really a good villain. Like he does like the villain voice.
Jeff Bridges is a good actor.
Yeah.
Great actor. Has he ever played bad guys?
Kind of plays the bad guy to himself in Tron.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. We don't really talk about Tron. Like the Jeff Bridges in Tron.
I like
is
Tron.
the good Jeff Bridges. You know what I mean? Like the other one is like the CG Tron. It doesn't look great.
I kind of like that Tron. I love the music.
We went to see that at the movies together, like years back.
Did we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was with Matt and Tim.
You're probably right.
I could be wrong with who else, but I'm pretty sure I went to see, and I had never seen
probably
the
not
first
Matt,
Tron.
but probably Tim.
Maybe Tim. I'd never seen the first one, so I was slightly confused. But you're still able to follow it because who had seen the original Tron?
Yeah, I had actually.
Well, of course you had, but who else in this world?
I guess. So Obadiah is stealing the Arc Reactor to power his new suit because he knows Him and Pepper.
And he
are
can't
in
get his
cahoots.
own arc reactor started.
No. Which I do like Tony Stark is the smartest person in the universe, in the MCU's kind of Earth universe.
It
at
isn't,
least.
though, because they made Shuri the most smartest.
Yeah, no, I kind of didn't like that. Like
It's the way that she's cocky about it, and like
it
it's
just
just
doesn't
like,
feel
oh,
earned.
you didn't know that? Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel earned. Like
Because she just is smart, right? Like when she shows up, you're just like, yeah, she's super smart. And and she's like, what, 16, 17 or whatever. It's like, geez.
I don't know. Like, that's one of the things.
She's still one of the best parts of Black Panther.
Yeah, no, I
agree. Like, I wish they made her out to look smarter than Tony Stark. But Tony Stark, like, he's been building up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've seen him just, I mean, he starts off smart, but you know what I mean? Like, we saw more of him, I guess. You know, if Shuri had the same type of development that he had, I feel like we probably would have felt differently. So it's not a sexist anything. It's just character-wise, it was just like, yeah, she's just smarter right now, right there. I know, I always think of that. Like, why doesn't he just use that thing? It'd be so much easier. You know what? Tony Stark's not that smart. In a sense of panic. Then again, I mean, if I was dying, I probably wouldn't have thought of that.
This is me crawling to the bathroom in the night when I have to puke. I don't know. Just
why everything is every time Tony is stumbling around, it's always you either hungover or drunk.
Oh,
his dunce robot
that we love. I
the
love this
smashing.
robot.
The smashing is so dramatic.
Yeah, all of a sudden he has energy now.
It's foreseeable energy. I do like how Obadiah Stane, he takes the original idea, doesn't really modify it other than just makes it bigger.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, because you can tell, like, Tony Stark's got some more creativity to him, and, like, he's just straight up, like, it's just straight up stolen tech.
Mm-hmm.
But the smartest thing that he's ever done is this part right here.
But it's also...
Wait for it. Smarter than Iron Man. Why?
Because he puts a cover over it?
Because he puts a cover over it.
At
least I thought so. I thought it closed up. Maybe I'm wrong.
Also, I think it's the reason why it's just bigger too is that those scientists can't replicate his tech and just have to make something bigger because they can't miniaturize it.
I feel like it's an Obadiah thing though to just be like, no, I want it bigger.
Yeah.
Like, make it big, make me powerful.
That's not gonna be enough. Help me get on my suit.
Isn't it in this one too? He just or is it in the, no, that's definitely not the second one because they make the War Machine joke in this one, which of course I never caught as a
the maybe next time.
Yeah. Next time.
Yeah, I had to have that like explained to me after, but there was a lot of the MCU.
Yeah, it's weird being fresh in the MCU when like the comic book people were explaining things to you, but now I feel like I may not be the most comic like thing, but like I feel like I'm enough in the loop. You know what I mean? Like, actually the cheeseburger thing, if you would have like paid attention, like Iron Man eats cheeseburgers in the first movie.
Like I was more DC camp. Like I was in like that's for me watching Batman. I was like, oh, they're taking from this comic and blah blah blah. So this is Ironmonger, right? Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Look at this suit. It's version 3 of the suit.
You just love the. No, I think that's still the second version. Oh no. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the second version is the icing. The one that. So I want that helmet to go clink. Oh,
so cool.
You think that's real?
Keep
you
the
think
skies clear.
You think it's a CG mix, or you think that was a practical mask? Next time, baby.
I think it's half and half. Bow, bow, bow. Not for you. You shouldn't have fucked up.
I mean, technically, it might not have been him. Might not have been him. I want to like. Well, we'll never really know the real story.
Do you notice in Iron Man 2 though? So the first time Brody shows up, as
I love that scene.
it's like so meta.
Like, I get it.
It's me.
It's me. Get over it.
Yeah, and it's like, oh man. But it was funny when they're like, oh, we were gonna lose Terrence Howard, blah blah. But we got Don Cheadle. People were like, that's even better. You know how in for what is it, Suicide Squad, Will Smith is like doesn't want to be Deadshot in the next one,
Right.
and then
But we got
like,
Idris Elba.
yeah, and then we're like, that's even better.
But apparently
Idris Elba the whole time.
But apparently he's not replacing him.
Oh,
He's
no?
going to be a whole new character to pay respect to Will Smith's character, I guess.
Oh fuck that! Idris Elba
You know what?
should just be the better Deadshot. Like,
I mean, we're gonna get a better Suicide Squad. Even like, although I will say, okay, so James Gunn is a good filmmaker. He did some great things with Guardians.
made you care about all these characters that I'd never heard of before.
But he also the director that did the original Suicide Squad I liked his previous movies.
David Ayer,
Huh?
David Ayer, right? Is that who made it?
Yeah, he's the guy that did that Jake Gyllenhaal cop movie. That was a really good movie.
That was a really I know which one you're talking
And then
about.
he did
the found footage one.
Yeah, and then he did the one that's pretty much Lord of the Rings as a cop buddy movie. And you know what? I enjoyed that movie.
Which one's that?
The Netflix movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. Some people didn't like it. I liked it. I liked the originality of it.
Oh,
That's a
shit.
big freaking suit.
The way the suit moves there, like his leg comes up, I feel like Obadiah doesn't have that body movement. Like his leg goes up wicked high.
Well, I mean, he's actually just at the top part of the suit. Right? Like, I guess that's what the software's for, right? Is to register, like, his legs.
But what if you don't have the movement that the suit does? You know what I mean?
This is like Transformers scene right here, because I'm pretty sure there's this almost similar exact scene in Transformers.
No.
Like the mom like in the SUV, like right in the middle of a fight.
His like voice is all
his voice is also
changed.
deeper too. Like, but it kind of works at the same way, because I could see Obadiah just being like, no, I want like a super deep voice. It's like, but Mr. Stain, like, I feel like he's trying to be a villain. Just shut up, man. He's got the money. Like, like
Oh, that they hit the gas too. Like, I'm on your side.
That's great. Ugh. That's the fourth time Tony Stark could have died.
Yeah.
So many times he should have died in this film.
Yeah, it's like his voice gets deeper too.
Oh.
Sound effects are great in this film.
All that metal clanging.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could have just ripped him in half.
Maybe, yeah.
Also,
now they're fighting big time.
I'm trying to think, but you'd think Tony Stark might have tried to get some vibranium, like a suit made out of that eventually at one point. Like, he knew his dad made a vibranium shield.
Yeah.
There was never any search for vibranium for
there
that.
Is it one of the Iron Mans though? There is Wakanda is on a map in the background.
Yes,
yeah.
they do talk about it. They talk about it actually in Ultron, because that's where they bring in Claw.
Yeah.
So that's where they bring. I'm pretty sure that's where they bring Wakanda.
I know the math. And here's the callback to the start of the film.
And also, like, the
Don't worry, it's training exercise. It's training exercise.
I don't know. I still would have liked. I think I might have preferred.
Like if he got vibranium
No. Preferred Terrence Howard
as Brody.
Yeah. There's a certain way that he plays it. That you know what?
He was good casting at the time. I Obviously,
But
it sucks that he's not.
It is.
in it,
But there's not that many, like, in all of the MCU, in all 22 movies, there's very, very few cast changes. Between the first movie of Iron Man, we lost Rhodey's change of actor.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Hulk's change of actor. But these all happened in the first phase.
Yeah.
Like, what was the... Like, that should have killed Obadiah. Like...
No!
Like, it paralyzes
Brody,
but I guess maybe because the suit is smaller. Like,
what's the emergency backup power, by the way? Like, doesn't he
it's
only
like-
have the arc?
they probably put like a little emergency battery in there just in case.
Yeah, I guess.
A fail safe.
But the amount of like, oh yeah, the magic earpiece stuff in the MCU too. Oh no,
the magic earpiece.
he doesn't have the glove. Oh, we got decked.
He's always like. Did you ever notice like the end of any Iron Man movie or Avenger when Tony Stark is fighting, he's always got at least a piece like off of his suit. Like in one, his mask is missing, or this one he's missing an arm, or in one like he's missing, you know what I mean? There's always a piece, something missing at one point. It's my birthday. Like that's practical right there. That looked like animatronics. I like that. You're gonna do it.
I like that she's just acting by herself here.
Who doesn't act by themselves? Like it isn't
Acting
like,
is a lonely craft.
yeah, there's no yeah, her and her high what do you call it? Those
Heels?
Heels.
Her character development's pretty awesome too, from this to
Yeah, she
Endgame,
plays
you
kind
know?
of like the I wouldn't I'm pretty sure that's what Ant-Man says to Tony in Civil War.
Yeah,
this looks
true.
important.
Oh, you're gonna have to take this into the shop.
But like, yeah, like she doesn't play the what is it? The
That looks
damsel in
cool.
distress.
No.
But still, that is a very cool scene.
Crushes it. There is an inconsistency in how stuff gets crushed with the suit. And
Like
doesn't
how
get
powerful is his armor?
Yeah, there is a bit of inconsistencies in that.
I guess that's what I was saying earlier is the inconsistency of sometimes like there is that plot relevance that it shouldn't be destroyed at this point, but it gets
Plot
destroyed
relevance,
at another time. Or the fact that certain things that are discovered in one movie will never come up again in another because it might ruin the plot of that one as well. Like that technology discovered in Iron Man 3 never ever comes up again. Ever.
Yeah, the extremis.
Unless,
I think that it's just so unstable that it's not safe.
but like there's no mention to it. You know what I mean? Like
people really didn't like Iron Man 3. Like
a lot of people didn't like it. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was awesome.
Like the third act maybe like kind of drags on for a little bit, but the action scenes aren't what I like about these movies. I like the slow scenes. I like the scenes with just him and the kid.
Yeah, just
like those are the best
development
scenes.
that he's having panic attacks because he went to space and you're seeing.
It just there's a lot of good stuff happening.
It sets
there.
up Ultron too, in the sense that
it sets up everything.
That he's trying to build all these things because he's like, this fucking threat is coming.
Exactly.
Like,
it sets up that. And then again, why Ultron is so damn important.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's the Bifrost, and then Thor shows up. Imagine. See that's what other universes have tried to do, where just Thor shows up randomly at the end. You're like, why? See, that would be too much.
And he blows up his dad's arc reactor.
Another great thing that Iron Man 2 is good is they talk about the fair.
Yes, it sets up for Cap, right?
But it sets up because you actually get to experience, like,
yeah, Yeah.
That's what I like about the MCU is things from the past and the future and just little things that sometimes probably were meant as a joke. Like, for example, the whole Rocket like going after like body parts was probably as just a small joke, became like as part of his character development.
Yeah.
And like became a huge part by giving like the eye to Thor. You know what I mean? Like it feels natural. Like again, when I was watching it with my girlfriend who had just never seen them before.
Who is the Iron Man?
I love that it's technically not iron. It's actually like
yeah.
But you know what I mean by the fact of like to her, she's like, yeah, these are just sequels. Like it just makes sense, right? Like not to have all these things come in, but like, and I kept going like, but you don't understand the significance this is in terms of like a Hollywood film. Like this is huge significance as to what they're trying to, you know what I mean? Like to her, it's just like, yeah, these are just sequels.
It had never been done.
But that's what I'm saying. Like to her, it's just like, yeah, but it's like, it is like, especially since watching it now that she's lived in a pretty much 10 years of like her hearing about the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
That from our counterpart, we kind of started with like I was there from the beginning.
Skeptical.
Right?
I was skeptical right up until like 20 minutes into Avengers. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. Like they're sort of okay on their own. They're like whatever one and done's. Like the rewatchability is not really there. But after Avengers, I was like, oh, they fucking did it.
And then they just kept doing it.
Yeah, I know. They just
like
kept
I
amazing
remember Infinity War was like, I'm like, what if it sucks? Like, what if it's no good? Like, there's no way they can get all these people together. Like, there's no way in hell it will ever work. And you finish watching Infinity War and you're like, I was wrong. I am so glad I was wrong. That was amazing.
And they're like, it can't get any better than this.
Right? And then
they do it.
I had knots in my stomach. Like, literally, like I was driving on my way to Endgame and like butterflies. Like, I'm like,
I was nervous too.
What if it's bad? Like, what if it's like, this is it? Like, this is the end of the saga.
My mentality was like, you know what? Even if it's bad, they still did really good. It's still not going to take away from all the good stuff.
But it would though. And you know it would leave just like this bad taste in your mouth.
True. Like Game of Thrones is right now. I won't say anything.
Oh, don't be saying nothing, bro.
You know what I was thinking is that we should do like series sort of like chats, like sort of the reviews, but just do like Lost, a retrospect, or
like a series that's maybe been done, been seen a while back.
Do like a short like podcast, like talk about Lost and all.
I never saw the last season of Lost.
I'm rewatching it right now.
Yeah, I should finish that last season.
It's all right. The first season is my favorite, but
yeah, the first season was decent.
I love
this line. And again, apparently the end line of Endgame, I don't know if you read into this, but they actually, that wasn't originally, they were trying to find it just felt weird because he didn't say anything. He just snapped back in Endgame. And it felt weird that when they were editing it together, there's like, he's got to say something. And apparently the editor said, what if he just says, I am Iron Man?
So they did a reshoot for that?
And so he's like, what if we just say Iron Man? They make a call back to like, fucking get the cameras, like get Tony back in here. We're reshooting this right now. And went back and reshot that. Just
for real,
Apparently, I read an article on it. Apparently that's what it says. I mean, we take everything with a grain of salt, but from what I read, that's what it is. And I'm like, I could believe it. Like I can.
That's one of my favorite moments of the film.
And one of the best moments from this movie as well. Like it's because that's another thing too. It's so fresh that we've never seen a superhero go straight up like, no, I was the superhero. Like it's me. Like, and you want to watch more of it because you're like, man, what are people gonna think? Like that's crazy. You can't do that.
I love the evolution of all the Marvel credits too. Like Iron Man has its own look, and Cap had its look, and like I think some of their in between credits scenes, like of all their, they all
have their look. They like Guardians. They all have a specific look, but there's always something like that, right? Like and it became kind of a norm in that respect. I've seen other movies do it.
That I think is Sarah Halley Jr. or whatever, the casting person. She's cast all the MCU.
Oh yeah,
yeah. She's been the one that's been like,
and
oh,
it's
you know
a star
who you know how
cast.
we're always like, you know who'd be good for this? That's her job, and she's nailed it for everyone in the MCU.
Yeah. Like some of the best cast there are RDJ and Chris Evans. I love Chris Evans.
People were skeptical on him too, right?
I know, but he's such a good Cap.
You know who I think was runner up, but he turned it down?
Yeah,
was,
is it Jim?
Yeah, from The Office.
I heard that.
I
I thought it happened here.
No,
I don't
it's-
remember if I stayed to the end. Like I
No.
remember at the movies, but I remember at the movies. I saw it at the movies. 100% I saw it at the movie. I don't know why I stayed to the end.
Really? Marvel movies have trained people almost to
They have.
stay through the credits.
They have, but I don't think Marvel is the reason I did it. And I can't remember. Again, this
I
was
used
like
to stay-
10 years ago.
I used to stay just to see like, oh, who was that? Like, because there was a time
Yeah.
before
Oh yeah. I used
having
to do
a
that
smartphone
too. Like,
because you couldn't just look it up right away. You
especially
had-
like animated movies too. You're just like, who was that voice? I want to know who that voice
Yeah,
was.
and, like I got to go home, turn on my computer, yeah. So there was like a time where I would just look through stuff, and also just being in the industry too. You're like, you know, I'm gonna stay and read a few credits.
Yeah,
and-
so I don't remember why I did it. There was at one point, and I think it was prior to the MCU, where I discovered that some movies had things at the end,
okay.
like things like Ferris Bueller,
You're
which is
right.
a great comeback callback from for Deadpool.
Yeah.
But things like that I'm like, anytime I watch a movie now, I go to the ending, just because there are movies I had watched as a kid or I'd watched earlier, and I rewatched them, and I'm like, there's an end scene. Like,
True.
I never saw this.
But
But yeah, I don't remember why I stayed to the end. So Iron Man,
you,
the movie,
you love it, obviously.
I love it. It was my favorite for the longest time. It's still in one of my top 5. I had 22 movies so far. It's definitely still in my top 5. I think
Yeah.
Endgame to me is number 1 now. But it's
Yeah.
only number 1 on its own. Like, it can't be on its own. Like, Iron Man is a great film on its own.
True.
Like, it works. It works so well on so
I
many
see what you're
levels.
saying, like even Civil War or Winter Soldier don't work on their own. They have to work as
They
part
have
of
to
a
work
larger
as part
picture.
of the group, part of the universe.
Yeah.
Thor 3, sort of. It is and it isn't. It could be watched on its own, but you kind of need that. Like, because it's kind of a soft reboot, they get a free pass in few things. But
a
still, all
reimagining.
those movies, even Infinity War, a great film. Another one of my, like...
Yeah, I remember I was watching Infinity War one day, and my girlfriend was kind of half watching it, and she's like, "Why is this?" I'm like, "Okay, well,
Right?
yeah,
There's
you
so
have-
much
there's
things
so much
you
to
gotta...
explain. You can't watch Infinity War having not
Of
seen
course
anything.
not. And that's why, like, the only movies I skipped over the 30 thing was Spider-Man, but I did like a quick recap. But she had already seen it. But you know, you do a quick recap just to kind of familiarize this. But then,
That
like,
sets up so much too.
It
That one works on
does.
its own, but it does set up the Tony Stark, Peter Parker.
it
kind of
does
father-son
and
relationship.
that's one of my other favorite. Like, I think Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor. I really like Winter Soldier, and then I mean, let's be honest. Infinity War and Endgame are its own movie. Like, that's
Yeah.
one movie. Like, that's one final
Unit,
thing,
yeah.
right? Like that's what it was supposed to be. Infinity War 1, Infinity War 2, Part 2. But those are really my favorites. Those are, I think, some of the strongest. A lot of people say Civil War. I like Civil War.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I think it was a little overhyped. But I
think
will
so?
say that one scene, that airport scene, is to me the best.
yeah.
That's what made me really, really like that movie, is that scene. But other than that scene and the Spider-Man intro,
I like the Cap Tony fight actually.
I remember watching it again. I'm like, okay, yeah, but it doesn't make my top 5.
Yeah, I thought Tony was flat out gonna kill Cap in that movie.
I thought so too. Seeing it the first time, I thought so too. Was never a big fan of Black Panther from the beginning, which is
Yeah, we talked about that.
from the beginning, like from Civil War. I was like,
I-
eh. And a lot of people were like, yeah. So I'm like, man, no.
I remember-
Spider-Man to me was like,
It was good. Eh?
that was for me.
I remember leaving the theater and with Black Panther being like, all right, whatever. We set Black Panther up now. Like I wasn't crazy about it, but like I was like whatever. But like trying to rewatch it sort of recently, I was like, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't know why.
There's something, I don't know. There's something.
Maybe that was like the first Thor movie for me until Infinity War, and now like I went back and watched Thor, and I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of like that. So maybe if T'Challa is more in the MCU now, and then something else happens, then I go back and rewatch.
That's the
it
thing,
again.
right? Like rewatching things sometimes watching something new, discovering something new about a character makes you appreciate things better. Like Ultron. If you haven't seen Ultron in a while and you're listening to this and you've seen the rest of them, rewatch Ultron. There's a lot of little hints, a lot of little things.
Sets up Civil War a bit too.
It sets up so much.
Yeah.
It sets up Civil War. It sets up the whole. Tony mentions the Endgame, like his Endgame. Like that's what he's scared of. That's why he creates Ultron, is because of that. Like he's afraid of that Endgame.
Yeah.
The Endgame being like the end of humanity, right?
Yeah. And he was right.
And he was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I really love Iron Man. It's the only movie that works on its own. That is great. So it was a great way to start the universe up with like, here's a fun action film, and also, you know what? It's a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what the decision was to have Sam Jackson as Nick Fury. Did they just know like Sam Jackson will say yes to anything?
Well, here's what I heard. So apparently in the original comics, Nick Fury is white.
Yeah, but whatever.
When he was brought into the ultimate universe, like he became black in the comics.
Okay.
And he was based off of Samuel Jackson.
Oh, really?
His look, apparently. Yeah, that's what I read. I read that like a long time ago, but apparently he was based off Sam Jackson. Like the artists were based it off Sam Jackson.
That's interesting.
So that's kind of neat that they got.
You remember how many "and then Nick Fury shows up" jokes were made at the time?
I don't remember.
So much was made, like
the scene that started it all.
Oh shit.
Like the bigger universe, you just don't know. Like that's straight up like talking to the audience, right? Like
yeah.
I've only been doing that since the 90s.
Yeah, I know.
All right, that was Iron Man, guys. So like I said, if you watched any of this and you hadn't seen Ultron in a while, rewatch Ultron. That's all I'm going to say. I think it's worth a second watch.
Thanks for listening.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Lost Commentary, on Instagram at Raiders of the Lost Commentary, and like us on Facebook.
I'll be back.